Hello, everyone. I want to talk on a point about specifically geared towards guys, men. Because I had a very interesting conversation with some guys I know pretty well a few nights ago, and I just wanted to talk on the point on my perspective towards where I see things within particularly North American society, because I've been seeing several YouTube channels belonging to women talking about their thoughts on women and feminism, femininity, which is really cool, really inspiring, and just I've been seeing a lot of the comments in those videos being, seems like a lot of men basically blaming all these various women's groups like basically feminists. And I'm not really going to talk about the feminists stuff and how, I'm not going to lie, there's the feminist movement has had an impact, but there's not a lot I can particularly do except to make come at that from a different angle. And the angle I want to talk about is that relating to my own personal experience with really trying to blame, trying to point the finger, trying to see that someone else is causing the problem, when that's not the case. And see, one thing I've noticed is that there's a lot of women that have an attitude around where like basically a lot of the attitude that a lot of well-known feminists take, which whatever, that's the way they are. But the problem is that it's not a one-way street. And one thing I've noticed is that I see a lot of guys, whether it's guys I know or guys that are just I see out in public, that have really lost touch with what a man really should be. And I know because that was me not too long ago. And the one thing I've also come aware of within that point is that for me personally, not too long ago, I became aware of my potential amongst people, was social environments, getting to know other people, building relationships, and trying to expand and grow who I am. And it was about this time last year that I joined a singles group. Not going to mention the name of the singles group. But it was a really cool experience in the beginning. And I had a lot of fun, met a lot of people. Went on some dates, even though I didn't even realize at the time they were dates, because that's how oblivious I was at the time. So, if that happened, if you're watching this and that happened between us, don't take it personally. I was clueless at the time. But the one thing I noticed, particularly about me, was that I was coming from a point of living most of my life being depressed, not having a lot of faith in myself, not having a lot of confidence, and just basically being clueless when it came to social interaction, and not being able to hold up a conversation with people unless they were the one asking the questions or talking, unless it was a topic I was really interested in. But I noticed that as I, and one thing to know is that, my primary business is TechnoTutor, and the various angles that me and my partners are approaching it from is that damn, I lost my train of thought. Give me a second here. Is that within my own experience of having used it to really become aware of what I'm doing wrong in my own life and overcoming my own stuff, moving past it, growing, expanding myself, that things have gotten better for me. I've opened up, and I'm now beginning to embrace, getting out there and meeting different people, spending more time with the people I already know, and really pushing my own comfort zone and pushing what I think about myself and my own limitations. And particularly within, going to Global Information Network events, dealing with people within TechnoTutor, and my most recent manifestation of help within the business, which has really helped me. But the thing that I've really noticed is that up until really, really, really recently, I was not very happy with myself because, and I'm sure that everyone sees that I'm sure, well, at least most people can see there's an issue happening within society where men are being encouraged to not be the best they can be. And it's funny because like a month or two ago I saw this poster on a bus stop that said, "Know the signs of toxic masculinity," which really made me it really kind of made me want to shake my head a little bit, but whatever. Whether you agree with that or disagree with that, do your choice. But the point is that within my own journey of becoming aware of what I'm doing wrong, I'm seeing that, basically I know that I have all the same desires as most guys. I have a girlfriend, wife, kids, family, 2.5 kids, white picket fence, the dog, the cat, all that stuff. Which I think there's very, very few men that would deny that they want that with their life. But in seeing that, I mean, the search I began back in 2010, the journey, I should say, it started before that, around 2008, but it really took a turn and for the better in 2010, that I've come to realize that, the things that are happening are not happening just purely out of, by accident. And without going too deep in that point, I've noticed that, back in, I guess you'd say, closer to the end of 2018, when I spent my summer and some of the fall just trying to have fun with my life. And I noticed that and it was fun at first. I had a really good time, did some really awesome things with friends I met through the singles group, and with the singles group. It was really fun, and everyone who contributed to that, thank you, because my life was really fun at the time. But what happened was I noticed that as I was going to, I was just trying to feel good all the time. And I noticed that feeling good without a purpose and without a drive and without a dreams and goals and all that is really just bullshitting myself, quite frankly. Because the more I ignore a purpose, which I believe I know for a fact I have found, whether you want to say this is spiritual or esoterical or destiny or fate or whatever you want to call it, I have found my reason for being on earth. And I am currently exercising that. And before I embraced that, because the people that I work with were trying to get me and others to see this and realize that that's where the true happiness lies. In pursuing your dreams and goals and living with real purpose. And I was ignoring that for a long time. And I thought that just, suddenly if I could have the woman of my dreams and all the things that came along with it and have all the money, have whatever money I wanted, it would fix everything. And if, just within this, ignoring my purpose. And I found that just made things worse because I wasn't really being truthful to myself. And just basically trying to remain within the comfort zone only made it worse. And I'm sure anyone who's ever really pushed their comfort zone, especially on this path, it doesn't feel very good. Because when you I talked about this on a video I did a few weeks ago, that as long as I personally, and I'm sure not the only person who has experienced this, as long as I stay in that comfort zone, knowing what my potential is, I feel like shit. I feel horrible. And it's worse when I'm aware of it. And and what I'm getting at here is, life coaching is a direction that me and my partners are also pursuing. Is that, breaking through limitations, breaking comfort zones, exploring what this unknown and scary. Because I've noticed that the scary stuff is the funnest stuff after you do it. And I mean, just in every way. And the point is that, and I want to speak to men specifically, because I'm not going to pretend to know what it's like to be a woman. Because I'm not touching that one with any length of pull today. Pardon the pun on that one, but I'm not touching that one today. But my main message is that, guys, so many men have given up on what they can achieve. And a lot of men haven't. I mean, and I know this because I hit that point. I hit that point years ago, and I tried to stay there, believing it was hopeless. But in trying to stay in that, I felt worse, to the point where I actually created consequences in my life, and some consequences that I am still dealing with. But I noticed that the more I respect myself and what I'm doing, the more other people reflect that. It's funny because, and more along this journey, those who really want to see this can. That the more I pursue my goals, the more I pursue my goals and my dream, the more I feel great. And then everything about my body just changes. You're probably wondering, okay, who the hell is this guy? This guy doesn't sound like James. At least people who haven't seen me recently. But I think this applies to a lot of men, if not most men. Because as long as most men just want the same things that I do. And as long as, without passion, without the dream. In fact, I remember a few years ago, I was out with some people, specifically in the people in the techno tutor business, and one of my mentors asked the wife of one of the people that we are in business with, what are women attracted to? And it was either passion or the green stuff. And I denied it back then, but I get it now. I wish I'd honestly seen this stuff sooner, but and that's why I see I see a lot of women with guys who are not really achieving not really achieving a lot, or maybe they are and they just don't show it, but it's just because just passion, drive, like seeing it, and I know because I'm feeling it myself right now, that when you really push yourself towards that passion, when you really push yourself as a guy towards that dream, that goal, everything just changes about you. Everything just has been doing that with me, and I'm just, every time I'm out and working on growing this, I just feel like unstoppable and amazing. And I know that being able to encourage this in other guys is just really, it would be just amazing just to see that I can inspire that, because I know that if we don't do this, then what will happen if we don't move on this and show that this is possible for guys to really stand up and be who they can really be, then it's it's not going to be pretty. And I'm not, for women, if you choose to do that, then good for you. Everyone should follow their passions, everyone should follow their dreams. I just see that a lot of men have just given up on that point. And I personally want to encourage men to do this. However, here's the issue is, and I've noticed this myself, that I fought this point for years, and now that I'm finally starting to embrace it and work through it, I find that the results are getting better. That specifically for guys, if you can't face that, if a guy can't face that, when I was unwilling to face that, I noticed I just felt worse, and life just kept getting worse. And without the tools to do it, because there's so many things hindering everyone's ability to reach that potential. But it's really, it's about a person's intelligent, emotional and social intelligence that really determines the ability to do this. And what I've discovered is that, and to be honest, I'm still getting it. I'm still understanding this process. But the more I educate myself, the more I build my vocabulary, the more I build my own, the more I build myself, which is really stabilizing my words, stabilizing my vocabulary, and expanding it, and really learning what things really mean and how things are defined. It changes me. It makes me more believe I can do it. And I, just like everyone else, I have to work through real hard points of resistance within me that were programmed in from a young age. But I'm sure everyone has those. And do I have days where it's hard? Yes, I'm sure everyone does. But the point is, being able to face that is so rewarding. And knowing where I'm going with building myself and facing all these things and just continuously getting to the next level and exploring my potential is just an amazing thing. And just, a little taste of it for any man out there who's single and wants a woman in their life. Then that's one of my hopefully not long-term objectives, but short-term objectives is to show myself I'm worthy of of having a woman in my life. And in moving myself and what I know my passion is, literally the exact reflection of what I want has literally shown up in front of me. And I'm actually working with them. Like, honestly, I could not ask for a better circumstance. And it's all because I chose to move myself and push my comfort zone. And, if you, feel free to ask me how to do this, what the key is to really do this, and being able to push oneself and embrace the man within each of us guys. It's truly rewarding. And because I'm not sure what else I really can say, and I'm at 20 minutes here, so I'm gonna have to end it soon either way. And I have a lot of work more to do on myself. Probably before I've got work to do on myself before I'm ready to have a woman in my life. I'm not gonna deny that. But it's gonna be interesting because the further I go, the more interesting, cool things that happen. I literally manifested the perfect situation to continue this goal and this dream of mine with people who basically had the same goal, obsession, and passion I do. I have a hard time thinking of how this could be better for me right now. And all because I invested in the tools, I invested in the procedure. Can I be doing more to fix myself, to work on myself? Yes, but it's a process. And it's a process of becoming aware of what I'm doing and what I'm not doing right. So, and what I know is that anyone can be better. And let's just put it this way. If you're not reading at 1,600 words a minute, you can be better. Because I have yet to meet someone who can. But I know of people who have. So, feel free to comment, like it. There's a good chance I'm going to post this on my Facebook page. And feel free to comment. Feel free to give your input. Because I don't think this is going to be the last video. Because the more I do this, the more I want to talk about it. Because I honestly want every man I know to feel this way. And I know that every guy can reach a level of excitement like this. So, thank you for watching.